Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. In this video, I have a point and shoot Canon Sure Shot Owl. It's basically just a point and shoot 35mm film camera by Canon. So I have some Portra 400 loaded up in it. I don't have a lot of experience with point and shoot film cameras, nor do I use them very often, if at all. I think I used one once, but I just got this one as a gift, and I'm gonna try it out and see how it works with landscape photography, point and shoot style. So I'm just gonna see basically how it does. It has a fixed focus. So it focuses, I'm not quite sure how close, but then it just goes to infinity. It's probably pretty close though, I'd imagine. It's a 35mm, so slight wide angle. Not an ultra wide, but definitely not up close. So I have some clouds coming over these snow-covered mountains. It looks pretty cool. So I'm just gonna have to drive up close. I'm just gonna point it at the mountains and take some pictures. Try to get some perspectives. If there's any foreground I can get, I'll try and get that. But I'm basically just gonna test it out, scan it, and then we'll see how it looks. I'll have a gallery at the end of the best photos that turn out. So yeah, there you go. I'm just gonna try out a point and shoot 35mm film camera on the mountains and see how it does. And I just want to it's an experiment just to test it out and see how it looks on landscapes. So it'll be a slight wide angle, focus on infinity, point and shoot. I can't control the aperture, I can't control the shutter speed, I can't control anything. You just load it with film and push the button, and that's all you can do. So that's all I'm gonna do. But yeah, I'll be using the Canon Sure Shot Owl point and shoot camera with Portra 400. I'll be using Portra 400. So let's go up in the mountains, up into the canyons. I'll go to a few spots, basically just be driving around a bunch and shoot off this roll and see how this point and shoot does when I'm just pointing it at mountains and trying to make some landscape photos. Take some shots just out of the window here. I'm literally just gonna take some pictures right out the window. Oh my gosh, I can see the moon up there. The moon looks huge. Wow. So the counter's a little weird. It doesn't go one at a time, but it goes by fours. So it's like 4, 8. So at first I thought the counter wasn't working, or the film wasn't grabbing properly and progressing to the next exposure, but it is just goes by fours. All right, so I just took a few images. I'm probably on slide 6 right now, just driving up a canyon from inside my car with the window down. I think I got 1 or 2 outside the window, but I'm definitely gonna find a spot, park, and walk out. There's a lake up here. I should be able to access it. A lot of these canyons are still like blocked off at the tops or near the top during the winter because of snow. But yeah, I'm gonna walk around and get some shots. Definitely try to get some foreground and background and just see how they turn out. So yeah, let's get at it. right, well, there's definitely some awesome views, pretty much 360 around. So I'm just gonna get some shots off. I'm pointing it higher so I'm not getting any of the parking lot or cars around. You just see the kind of top part. The views up here are actually incredible. So let's just get a shot off, see how this goes. All right, so I want to just share my final thoughts now that I've seen all the images, I've scanned them, looked at them. So my final review of using this camera is that the quality is really bad, technically, right? So if you look at the photos far away, they look fine, but if you zoom in at all or look closely, they're very not sharp. They're very blurry or fuzzy around the edges and things like that. So the images aren't sharp at all. If I want to have fun with like a small 35mm camera to just shoot quickly, I'd rather use like a Kodak, an SLR. Images are way sharp and the quality is way better. So I would recommend, if you want to have a camera kind of like this, either getting a higher quality point and shoot, which I'm sure there's some out there. I don't have a lot of experience with point and shoots. This is my first one really that I've used. But it's just cheap, the lens is cheap, and the images aren't sharp at all. So if you want to have fun with a camera like this, I would rather use a SLR, you know? You can get one around the exact same price range, or just getting a better quality point and shoot. So that's my final thought about it. So I think back in the day when these cameras came out, they would be good for small prints, like 4x5 prints, postcards and things like that. But if you make the images any bigger, then they look pretty bad. So if you want to do that, I think you're better off, you know, if you want a small image to share on social media, I think you're better off just using a phone, point and shoot with a phone, if your purpose is to share like on social media. But if you actually want to have fun using a camera while you're traveling, you know, take some cool pictures of some mountains and things like I did, then I'd recommend using an SLR with a better lens so that you can at least get a sharper image. So yeah, that's my final kind of opinion about it. After this segment, I'm gonna roll a slideshow with all the images, or a lot of the images that I took off camera. And then after the slideshow, I'll have one more quick message to share with you, and then we can wrap it up. So with that said and done, let's go ahead and roll the slideshow. about finished off the roll. The sun's setting now, but I definitely got some good light. I was up in the mountains, some snow-capped mountains, clouds, sunlight, like all the elements were there. So I'll just get the roll developed at the lab, scanned in, edited into this video. Yeah, and I'm excited to see how they turned out. So that about wraps it up with the point and shoot 35mm film camera for landscape mountain photography, analog mountains, you know. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.